Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
Welcome to the Finance Committee on Monday, April 7th. It is Sine Die, and we have one bill hearing today. So, Delegate Hill, you are our final bill of the session, House Bill 1199.
Good morning, and thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for coming in this morning to hear this very important bill that I hope you'll vote on post haste, and we can suspend some rules on the full to have two readings in the same day. In any case, this is House Bill 1199, Physician Licensing Internationally Trained Physicians Bill. And so let me just sort of set the stage, which you guys should be well familiar with. We have a healthcare professional shortage in all areas, and including physician. And this bill, this committee, along with the House committee that I'm a part of, Health and Government Operations, has done a number of things over the last several years to try and address that. What we have not addressed is the fact that we have currently a number of well-trained physicians practicing in our state who trained in other countries and have practiced medicine, and this bill will talk about for at least 5 years, who are competent, but in order to practice or get licensed to practice in Maryland, they have to repeat their residency. And that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, particularly as some of the things that we've done to address this shortage is to take people who have different training and lesser training without going through residency, and we've given them the equivalency of a physician license. So trying to address this program or this problem, I introduced legislation last year, and on hearing it, Chair Pena-Melnick said, let's do a work group, and she charged the Board of Physicians with putting together a stakeholder work group. I know the Chair Bidel participated, I know Senator Lamb participated, and the bill that you have before you came out of that work group. And what we believe we have is a way that we can set up an alternative pathway, again, for physicians who have trained in countries where the quality of that training is felt to be at least equivalent to the training they would have here, and they've practiced for a minimum of 5 years with good standing and licensure. And they come to the U.S. for whatever reason, and what we're trying to do is say there must be a better way, a faster way for us to verify the quality of your education, verify that you understand the standard of care that we expect you to have and practice with here in Maryland, and not take up the residency positions that are already limited, but take up those positions for medical students who've graduated and need those residency spots. So by doing this, we would not only allow physicians who are in this state who are acting as researchers and serving as surgical techs and doing everything other than practicing medicine to be able to do that, but we also allow, again, more residents who are finishing their programs to find those spots so that they can get the training to go out and get licensed in practice as well. The one concern about this bill in this particular fiscal year is that the fiscal note is about $280,000, but that's a special funded fee because, as you all know, the Board of Physicians is responsible for raising all the money for its operations through the fees that it charges. And in fact, in the BRFA this year, we have shifted, I think, 1.5, 1.6 million out of the fund of the Board of Physicians back to the general fund because of the excess, and that still leaves about a 15%. So there are no general funds that will be required to do this. The board is on board with it. The Medical Society is on board with it. Rural Maryland is on board with it because that's where we see some of our most acute healthcare shortage issues, and the various and sundry physician groups are on board with it too. So with the fiscal note addressed and the broad support of the community, including the Maryland Hospital Association, I'm really asking that on this last day of the session that you look favorably on this bill and that we move it forth and put it into effect so that the state board can start the work needed to establish what this alternative licensure would look like.
Thank you, Delegate. Do I have any questions for Delegate Hill? Delegate Hill, we still have to send it to B&T.
Well,
And this is sign
I
time. No,
reached,
I still have to send it to
okay.
B&T. And I've talked to the analyst about that this morning, so.
okay, I appreciate that. And just so you know, I've spoken with the chair of B&T. I spoke with Senator McCray, who's the chair of the subcommittee on health, and the vice chair as well. And so the information I've got from them is they understand this is special funded and it doesn't affect the general fund. And I believe that if this committee supports it, that they would very quickly sign off.
Okay, thank
All right.
you. Any other questions for Delegate Hill?
Sounds like a good bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Delegate.
All right, thank you.
We're going to.